What it do? I'm talking about. Let's chop it up.
Hey, what's good? Appreciate you for being with us one more time on the Let's Chop It Up podcast. If you back again, you a real one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do all that. You know what I'm saying? No, the bell notification, get all that going. You know what I'm saying? Today we blessed, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have an amazing person with us. You know what I'm saying? He be pointing them to a king. If you don't know who it is by now, you lost. You don't be jamming the way you should be jamming. You know what I'm saying? He been holding titles down, you know what I'm saying, H-Time on the Engine Radio. Man, we joined with my brother, Elox, Lorenzo, not to forget my boy, Phyre. What's good, bro?
The Armageddon.
What's good, man? That introduction was dope, man, but I thought you was about to say Jesus Christ, man.
Hey.
Stop making me. I be getting shy.
I don't know when or where he coming, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. What's good, y'all?
How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm excited to be here, man. Straight up. I haven't missed an episode yet, man.
Man, we appreciate that,
you
bro.
guys are doing an amazing job, for real, for real.
When
I first seen the first one, I was like, no lie. I got on and said, let me see what these boys can they really pull this off?
Yeah.
And you guys are naturals, man. Real talk.
We appreciate
Y'all
that.
naturals,
God,
man. Like
It's
it
all
just,
God.
when I seen it flow and the way it just went through, and I was like, hey, they up to something right there. So keep it up, guys. This is dope. This is dope content, man.
I will say this. You know who's up to something right now?
Who's that?
I don't know if y'all seen it, right?
Hey,
We got that guy City. He's about to drop.
City.
Matter of fact, by the time y'all hear this, it's already out. So go get yours, jam it, bump it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because trust me, it's gonna be fire.
Hey, it's live, man. The Guy City album. So yeah, by the time they start watching this, which is probably next week sometime, it should be out. And the dope part is that we got the digital release, right? And then we're gonna do a package for the the physical copies. They'll still get it online, right? But it's gonna be like packaged up with some other stuff, some goodies.
Yeah.
It's gonna be live, man.
So it's Phyre,
Puttin and Lucky Luciano, man. So to me, I love it, man, because it really displays unity, right, between artists, and not only through music, but also races, right? We got Puttin,
black and brown,
and you got Luck, and then you got myself, and we all hood dudes, right? We from the hood, but we still got different backgrounds, right? And just it's always been hard. Like it's easy to rock with people from your camp.
Yeah,
It's always easy, right? It's your people, your boys, people but it's, this is my real first time to like do a whole project with two guys that literally I didn't just meet, but it's early, right?
Yeah.
It's been a year. I've been knowing Puttin for a long time, but we never rocked like that. Until I'm no lie, man. I decided to say I'm gonna get my pride out the way. And I reached out to Puttin and I said, hey man, let's work. Let's do some music. And that was for the What It Do.
Okay.
The What It Do track. So I hollered at him.
Banger.
I hollered at him, hollered at Von Juan, and we're just like, hey man, let's make a dope track. Let's get our pride out the way. Let's do something dope. And they were on board. We did that What It Do, did a video to it, and man, after that, me and Puttin just became so cool. It was like, man, let's keep working.
Hey, that was on the Space City Chronicles, right?
Yeah, Space City Chronicles.
Man, when I say I had that bumping in the whip like for a few months straight, bro.
That's live.
Y'all
man.
would think I'm exaggerating, but I'm being for real.
That's live.
It got stuck in there. No, I'm playing.
That's all it was.
Nah, hey, God was like, keep jamming this. Nah, man, it was
live,
fire, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, everything we do, man, we try to put our best foot forward, obviously, but quality-wise too, man.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that I always try to tell artists. Like, I've been doing it for a little while. One thing I've learned is you got to take yourself serious so people can take you serious.
Amen.
Right? So that means spending a little bread, whatever it takes to take your music to the next level. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect somebody else to believe in you. You know what I'm saying?
I've been seeing the vlogs where y'all be in the studio.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to
down,
Cool,
bro.
man. My brother, he picked up that habit, man, and he started doing the vlogs, the behind the scenes, and they really been kicking off, man. So that's pretty dope on his end. And I appreciate him for holding me down, man. My brother has always held me down. Man, he's probably my number one fan, for real.
Yeah.
Cool always holds me down, man. So shout out to my brother, man, for doing all those
Shout
vlogs.
out to Cool, man.
Cool.
So is this your fourth project? How many projects in total?
Since I got saved, we did stuff that y'all probably would have, because it wasn't even on digital. One was called Against the Grain. That was World Reject Project. And then after that, we did Reject Familia.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Reject Familia, I dropped After the Block.
After the Block, yeah.
And so that was my first official, because the other ones were mixtapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? My first official release was After the Block. And then after the Block, we did Southern Gospel, the Trill tape. And then after that, we did Space City Chronicles.
Hold on, that Southern Gospel was dope.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? Crazy.
I love it, man. I love every music that I've always put out, man. I ain't gonna lie. I jam to my own stuff. You know, a lot of artists say, "Oh, I don't jam to my own music."
Yeah.
I do. I love my
yeah.
music. That's why I create it. I do it. I'm a fan of myself, right? Of my music. I'm like, I say, hey, if I wouldn't jam it, nobody else would jam it,
exactly.
right? So I really like listening to my music, the people I put on it. Everything I do from After the Block this way was strategic. The people I put on the album, it just was dope, man. Like I'm saying, everything I did was careful. Like I really wanted to do it. I wanted God to be glorified through the whole project and just be like as dope as I can do, and not just let God take care of the rest.
Yeah,
You know
if
what
it
I'm
ain't
saying?
edifying you first, it ain't going to edify nobody else.
Yeah,
so I feel you, man.
So I like jamming it, man. So that's, you know.
I think the first time, my bad. I think the first time that I ever saw y'all, or for lack of better words, heard of y'all was at Discovery Green.
Oh yeah.
That was what, like 2014?
13.
13?
Yeah.
You just got saved, Mo.
I had just got saved. That was like one of the first events I went to, and I was just like, bruh, I didn't know we get down like this.
Yeah, man. I was the same way, bro. Like, it's crazy how when I first got saved, I literally thought I was gonna be the only rapper. Like, I didn't know this world existed at all. When I first got saved, the first rapper that I heard of, and I tell this all the time, it's part of my testimony as a new believer, Little Roddy. I thought that he was the only other rapper. Like, I literally said, man, when I finally start doing music, I'm gonna be the only one out here doing it and changing the game up, right?
Yeah.
I'm in my mind thinking that, but then I met Lil Roddy, and I was like, wow, it's like this dude.
There's another one.
Hey, that dude is dope. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was like, hey, that's live, and we started working together. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet him at a concert, and then after that, man, I really got inspired to do music. So he's an inspiration, man, for me to do music.
And you know what? It's like, you know, I love Lil Roddy. I don't know him personally like that, but I've heard a lot of people say that they've been inspired by him, man.
Oh,
so,
man,
that's
that
powerful.
dude. That dude has really, he's smart, and he really got away with words, man. His lyricism, and him, you know, being Latino, like that's a big struggle, bro. Being a rapper, even in the secular game, that's a struggle. You know, for you to get recognized. And when I first heard that dude, I was like, hey, man, this dude's for real. Like, his lyrics are on point. His music was just like, man, it was a banger. So he really inspired me, man, when I first came over. And, you know, I was glad that I got to work with him.
So we had Against the Grain, Southern Gospel. No, Against the Grain, Reject Familia, Southern Gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And then
After the Block.
After the Block.
Before.
And then
Space City Chronicles.
Space City
Chronicles. And now entering God City.
God City. Hold up.
Yeah, man.
So that's within a span of how many years?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years
So
now.
when did you get saved, though?
In 2009, November of 2009.
And how did you get saved?
After struggling in my marriage and having my homeboy Twank had just passed away recently, and we were just going through a lot of drama in the hood.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on. You know, I really didn't have a way out. You know what I'm saying? I'm being 100. Me and my wife were separated. I was out there messing up. You know what I'm saying? I was committing adultery. I was just all the way messed up, man. I was going through a phase where I was just like, I really didn't care, but I did. You know, it's kind of crazy the way those emotions were, right? Because I was like, okay, when the smoke was settled, I didn't want my son to grow up without his dad. You know what I'm saying? And my family's always been Christian, you know, since I've been little. And they would always preach to me, man. They would always give me the gospel and tell me that the way I was living wasn't right and, you know, things like that. But when I was younger, I didn't want to listen to that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, y'all don't know what it's like to be out here.
A lot of people, whenever we growing up, we always hear the folks telling you, man, you got to get right. Don't do that, mijo. You know, you messing up.
Yeah.
And the mind frame's always like, man, whenever I hit that 60, I think about switching up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for now, I'm chilling.
That's exactly how I would be like. You know what I'm saying? I would just didn't want to hear it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was too busy out there in the streets. I had a ego and a pride. You know, that's one thing that I dealt with like big time. You know, I always felt like it was about me and my clique and the people I rode with. And if you cross that line, then you're gonna have to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of things about me, about the street life, you know, I wasn't the biggest dope dealer. I wasn't no killer out here doing all just pulling triggers on everybody, but I took care of mine for the people I loved. I always say I was an anomaly in the streets because I wasn't no crash dummy. I didn't do crash dummy things to get caught up, to go to the penitentiary. Everything I did was for love and loyalty. Like everything I did was from genuine love that I really cared about my partners and my people. And a lot of stuff that I did was out of love for them. Yeah. You know, so that's how my love and respect from the streets, that's where it came from. Yeah. A lot of it wasn't because, Phyre's out there selling big dope and doing this and that. It was all because I got down for mine to take care of mine.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. That's how God uses the values sometimes we learn in the streets. He applies it to the church. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of dudes off the streets like 7, like they got a solid walk, bro. Yeah. And they got solid love because it's stuff that you learn from the streets that we wouldn't have learned elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy part, it is from the streets, but I'm going to be 100, man. A lot of it was from my family, right? I would see that genuine love, right? And one thing that, man, shout out to my pops, man. He's my best friend. You know, my dad would always tell me, there ain't no friends out here in these streets, right? He would always tell me, there ain't no friends. So I'm a real one out here. So if I'm real, the people around me gonna be real. Yeah. So that's the way I would always try to move. Like, man, I'm a real dude. The people around me got to be real dudes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I did that really to like show my dad the streets are real. You know, there is people out here who really love you and you know, this how we take care of business though, you know? So anyway, so that's my street, a little bit of the street walk, you know what I'm saying?
At that time you were rapping, right?
I was in a Forever Aggravated Mob, the fam. You know, it was a pretty big underground thing that we had going on, man. And we got noticed all over the city. It was pretty dope, man. You know, when we were doing that, and shout out to Capo, he's still doing this thing. But you know, I was with him the other day. You know, I got none. That's one dude that no matter what, I love you, bro. Yeah. I don't care where you're at in life. That's my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Him and a lot of the dudes that I roll with the fam, they know my walk is different. We can't hang out all the time. Yeah. We move different, right?
But the love's still there.
But I love them, right? No matter what, I love them. I've never high-sided on none of them. And I think that's why the love and the respect is still there, because I never acted like I was better than them because I came to the Lord. Nah, bro, I love you, but we just, like, let's just be 100. Like, especially now, they're grown. Like, Capo's in a different mind state, like in a good, positive, mature mind state. But when I first got saved, you know, his mind was still out there in the streets hard, right? Yeah. So, like, what were we really going to conversate about? No, I already had took him to the same encounter where I got saved at. I had took him there. So he felt that, and he did good for like probably a month. And then, you know, he thought that he could go back to the streets and they wouldn't affect him. Yeah. But it does.
Real talk.
It does, bro. Like, you can't, if you out there by yourself and you're not a mature believer, like it pull you right back in. And that's why, like, I knew that early. Like, I gotta separate myself, even though I knew that the people that I was separating myself from, that they didn't have hate for me or nothing like that. They genuinely loved me. But because of the temptation and of the things that could have transpired, I was like, I gotta just move this way.
I feel you, man. Like, the first week of my walk, I was real confident. I'm like, man, God is so good. I'm gonna go back to the hood and tell everybody. Yeah. First rotation, I'm good. God is good. Second rotation is like, I don't feel God. You know, no, I'm being real. Like,
that's 100 though. That's
barely got saved.
That's real, bro. That's transparency, and it happens, bro. It happens. It generally does. You know, the thing with me with my road to Damascus moment. You know, when I gave my life to the Lord, I was sharing with you guys earlier. Man, it was just something that was supernatural. Like I was saying, it was natural, it's easy, simple, but the what happened inside was supernatural.
Heart transformation.
Yeah, man. I genuinely like was in love with God after that, right? And I didn't want to disappoint God. I really wanted to live for him. And I was like, how can I live for you? Right? So for a year and a half, about a year and a half, I just was getting fed. Yeah. Like, really growing in my walk and just wanting to know more about God. I said, people wanted me to rap off the rip because they knew I was doing the fam thing. Yeah. But I was like, I don't want to rap. It's not my thing right now. I really, really want to get close to the Lord. And the first dude that came to me was Picasso, straight though. Yeah. He was the first dude that came to me and said, hey, man, I want you on the track. I got this beat. And I was like, nah, man, I'm not ready yet.
So
bro.
y'all went to the same church or what?
So, well, they were at this church where I started going for a little bit, and then that's how they got to know me. But he knew my secular stuff.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's why he reached out to me and wanted to do the music or whatever. And you know, I was like, cool, but not right now. You know what I'm saying?
Give me some time.
Yeah, man, I wasn't ready for that yet.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted to go on my walk. And after about a year and a half, man, I remember he reached back out, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready, bro.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you were
ready.
saying that you and your wife were having difficulties in your marriage.
Oh, yeah, man.
Whenever you got saved, did y'all get saved at the same time? Was it
Yeah. So my bad, we did skip that part, right?
No, you
So
good, you good.
when I first came to the Lord, I was going through a lot of drama, right? Like I said, it was hood drama, but the most thing that I was going through was my separation with my wife. And I really, really didn't want to lose her. But yeah, like I said, I was out committing adultery. I was just in a bad place. And I remember we both said, well, let's try to give our marriage, you know, one last time, right? And my family was telling me about this encounter. It's like, it's a 3-day, it's awesome. I promise you it's going to benefit your life. And when they would tell me, I was still brushing them off. I was like, man, I've been to those type of things when I was younger. I would go to church camp because my family was Christian, right? But I just, like, nothing ever changed. I'm not going to change it. It's going to be the same old thing. But they kept asking, telling me. Finally, I was like, you know what? What I got to lose?
Yeah.
Let's try it, right? And I remember when my wife went, so it's a 2 weekends. First the women go, and then the men go if you're married, you know. And I remember we took her to the church that I got saved at. We took her, and she finally said, yes, you know, let's try it. And my wife literally cried like a little girl. She didn't want to stay. She was like, babe, why are you leaving me here?
Oh, wow.
I don't want to be here. I want to go back home with you. I don't want to be here.
Man.
And she literally was crying like a little. She did not want to stay there.
So she didn't have like a church background.
No. She didn't want to stay there. She didn't want nothing to do with it. But I was like, man, let's just try it. Let's try it. Let's see what's going to happen. You know, so she went. And I remember it was 3 days. They leave Friday. They come back on Sunday. And I remember went to go pick her up. They do this whole ceremony thing where they come back. And I remember seeing her, bro, when she walked into the church. And this is just real, man. I seen her walking into the church, and I was like, who's that?
Man, hold up.
That's not my wife. Because she came in with a big smile. The person that I left on Friday was not the person that came back on Sunday. I see, like, you know, I don't know if y'all have ever heard people say, man, you're glowing.
Yeah.
Or you got this shine on you,
Make
right?
you radiant. God made you radiant.
I was like, man, what's up with her, man?
That
She
Holy
looked-
Spirit was resting on
Hey,
her,
bro,
man.
she was looking beautiful and everything to me,
Man.
like even extra beautiful, right? I'm
What's
like,
that? I'm gonna propose again.
I was like, man, what happened? And no lie, that whole week, she would keep telling me, you gotta go. And I was already trying to find a way for me not to go.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I ain't trying to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a way to whatever. I didn't think I was like, I'm gonna find a way not to go.
How old were you at this time?
27.
27. Okay.
Around there, 27 years old or something like that. So anyway, so I was like, all right, you know, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? I'll go. You know, I went, and it was the way they presented the gospel to me, it was so simple and so powerful that it changed my life forever. Right?
Praise God.
They told me something real simple. They just like, hey, man, I'm going to give you this piece of paper, right? They didn't say it like that, but I'm going to give you a piece of paper. You write down all your sins. They told everybody who was there. My dad went with me. My little brother, Cool, went with me. My little brother, Sos, went with me. And so that was dope to me. That's also a reason why I got convinced to go. They were going to, you know. So anyway, they're like, write your sins down, put them down, and everything you've ever done in your life, just write it down on this piece of paper. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to look at it. Don't worry about it. It's just between you and God. Right? Whatever. So we start writing down our stuff, everything you've ever done. And they're like, after we're done, you're going to go nail it to this cross. We go, we nail it to the cross. And they're like, remember the way your paper's at, the way it looks. Remember everything. Tomorrow we'll talk about this. Okay, cool. So the next day, we wake up in the morning because we stayed there at a hotel for 3 days, right? And the next day they telling us, okay, do y'all remember yesterday where y'all put y'all paper? Just remember that. Just look at it. Here in a little bit, you're going to go pick it up. And they presented the gospel to me there for the first time. the way they presented to me was just simple, right? They're like, okay, do you know what Jesus did for you? Everybody, even if you're not a Christian, you kind of know, right? The story of the gospel, right? Yeah. Well, he died for you. No, but do you know what that did? Do you know what it did when he gave his life for you? What it did to you? It wipes you clean, right? They're telling you the gospel is a new birth, a regeneration, something new, right? And they're telling me this, and I didn't understand. I get what you're saying, but I didn't really understand the depth of it, right? Mm-hmm. They're telling me how much he loves me and this, and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I've heard that before, but it still wasn't touching my heart. Yeah. Right? Till they told me, all right, everybody, let's get up there and go pick up your paper. Remember where it was. So we go and I get my paper, go sit back down. Who in here has gave your life to the Lord? You don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to, you know, not trying to embarrass you. But if you have given your life to the Lord, open up your paper. Boom, I'm opening up this paper because they folded it up real good, right? You know, I opened it up and it was a clean slate. There was nothing on that paper. Everything that I had written down was gone from that piece of paper. And I remember when I seen that, it just did something to me, man. I seen it and I just balled up. Mm-hmm. I started crying. It balled me up, man. And I realized that no matter what I've done in life prior to that moment, that God had forgiven me.
What did you see after that encounter?
After that, man, our life really, really changed. But like, just to get a little bit into the backstory of it, mm-hmm. man, I know telling y'all that I was, adulterer, but I was real verbally abusive to my wife. Mm-hmm. Besides committing adultery, besides just the cussing, all that, I was like, just never physically hurt my wife ever. Just emotionally. But I verbally abused her because of my mentality, right? Yeah. A hood dude that I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me. Can't nobody talk down on me. If you think that you can insult me, best believe that my words are gonna hurt you more.
I'll give it to you tenfold,
right? And that's not a way a man should treat a wife, even if you're not a Christian. Yeah. Like, we should never promote that type of manhood that, it's about me and that's it. But that's where my mind was at, sad to say. But when I gave my life to the Lord, man, all of that changed. We were married, had one child, and then once we reconciled, man, it's been 11 years now. We only have one kid, but now we got 4 kids.
How old was your son at the time?
Go time.
Yeah, it was go time.
How old was your son at the time?
He was 3 years old, man. He was 3 years old, so he doesn't remember much, and I'm glad. And I remember when I was young, he would, when he was younger, he would, I guess because it was closer to the time, he would remember some things. Yeah. When I first gave my life to the Lord, and it would break my heart when he would say, Dad, I'm glad we're not in the bad life no more. Mm. Like, he would say that a lot, and it would like crush me, but in a good way, right? Because I knew that we weren't there no more. So, that's a big part of my testimony, man, my marriage, because it was literally broken, man. 4 years separated. In 4 years, I think we were in altogether time, I would say that we were probably separated 3 years, in all 4 years, because we would get back together, separate again, get back together.
Was it due to your actions, or was it like both of y'all?
It was both of us. She wasn't no angel. I'm not gonna say but the person that messed that marriage up was me. My pride, my ego, right? And she's from the hood too, so she's spicy, right? She'll run her mouth and woo woo woo, right? But like I said, you can't beat me, right? That's how I would be like, no matter what you tell me, you ain't gonna beat me in this conversation, right? So I would be until I would hurt her, like, straight up, man. I would really, I would say things that, man, I think about it now, the things I would say, and it's messed up, bro. It's messed up, but that's the only way that I could beat. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna beat you, right? Because I can't physically. That's one thing, I never touch my woman. Never. I would never do that. Never did that back then. But verbally, I knew that I could. So anyway, we finally reconciled. We got back together, and a lot of people didn't believe that probably could happen because of all the drama that we had. I remember even my mom, before that I got saved, she'd be like, well, why don't y'all just get a divorce? Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all just hurting yourselves. You're hurting your son. And after the encounter, man, that was something that when we gave our life to God, we really both, I'm telling y'all, when I seen her walking into that church, I knew that was a different woman. I seen that radiance on her. I seen her shining.
That boy said, the Lord has blessed me.
Man, I'm telling you, man. And she's seen the same thing in me. And man, God,
It seems like you guys had like a real born again experience.
That's the only thing that I tell people. You know, you can tell somebody through theology who Jesus is, right? Or break down the gospel. Yeah. But there's another thing of living it out, right? I could tell you the gospel, but if you don't receive it, then you don't get it, right? But if I can, like, how I know Jesus was real is my marriage.
Firsthand.
Like, I know, like, I don't care what anybody says. You can bring all kind of scientific whatever that he's not real. If you want to do that, nothing you can tell me can move me from what he saved me from and what he restored. Man, that marriage that I have, it's not perfect. So I always want to be upfront with that. My marriage is definitely not perfect, but it is nowhere near where it used to be.
Praise God.
And that woman right there is the reason that y'all even have me on this podcast is because I do music.
Thank you.
Right? And because she has supported me. Yeah. Literally supported me. A lot of people might think otherwise. I don't know how people think from the outside, but she's never at most of my events. Yeah. But because we have 4 kids, little kids, and it'd be hard for her to be running around with my kids. But if it wasn't for her, I could definitely not do what I do now. And now that's my biggest thing that I tell artists, everything. Your first ministry has to be home. You got to take care of home base no matter what. Like, don't be trying to be no full-time rapper if you can't take care of your wife and kids. Talk. Like, they deserve your first fruits.
That's your
they
first
deserve
ministry.
they deserve everything right there because that's who God gave you to be responsible over. Right? And that's what bro, y'all might see me at a lot of events, but guess what? Before I go to the event,
my family
I put in work all week. I don't care if I gotta lose sleep, whatever I gotta do to take care of my children and my wife. I'm gonna do that every time so that when I am gone, I don't ever have to feel guilty or feel like I'm doing something wrong, right? And
that's real for creative people, for musicians. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, you get in the zone of doing ministry, of doing shows, of doing music in the studio, and it's like, what about your family?
Yeah, because everything on stage may look right, but behind the curtains, what's really going on?
And that's a real struggle.
Oh, that's a real struggle, right? Because you really you're doing it, especially if you do it for the right reasons, right? You want to go out and preach the gospel through your music or but you just want to be out there and be active, right? But you got to remember, man, like, how can you be out here saving, or you're not saving, but putting in work, right? And you're forgetting about the people that you can't do that. There's no way. That's not the way God wants you to move. The Apostle Paul was able to go places. He wasn't married. You got to remember that. He wasn't married, so he could be able to go wherever he wanted to.
So if you single, put in work.
Put in work.
Put in work.
And then as a rapper, as an artist, I've had many opportunities to go on tour, to expand my ministry. And I believe that that's why God has blessed me without having to do none of that. Because I couldn't leave my family. I couldn't stop rapping. Like, first of all, I'm not saying I got the best job in the world. I got a good job. And a lot of people think some people think I'm a full-time rapper. I'm not. Right? I got a job. I got a pretty good job. And I got benefits, and I'm not gonna leave that trying to be no full-time rapper, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question.
The streets don't pay like that.
And, in regards to, because a couple weeks ago we had a topic called, should CHH artists feel guilty for wanting to make money? You're a family man. You get what I'm saying? You put your family first. Let me ask you a question. How has that affected your family's finance? I'm not trying to dig in your pockets, but
how much you making? Because
does that come out?
You've been active, bro, for 10 years.
For 10 years, man.
What people don't understand is that you got to pay for production. You got to pay for studio time. You got to pay for music videos.
It ain't cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
Especially not when you do it at the level y'all doing it, man.
And Chris is finding out how much all this costs, right? Now that he's a new artist, he's seeing it. And that's why, man, I back Chris up 1,000 because I know that he takes stuff serious. I see what he puts behind it.
And we appreciate that,
man.
That
dude is for real about this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, about that, the money-wise, bro, I have been blessed with a support system, bro. And shout out to everybody who has ever given money to my ministry.
Y'all real ones,
I thank y'all, and they know who they are. A lot of it's my family. A lot of people who really have believed in what I've done because they know who I used to be, bro. You think, like, they want to make sure that everything that God has for me, that he's able to, I'm able to do it, and they want to be a part of what he's done.
Amen.
Right,
Amen.
what he's doing through me, because they seen the change. The change was real, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people can talk about they're this, they're that. Bro, I have one of the biggest accountability groups ever. Right, and my family is I'm real close. If y'all
got a
ever
big
know,
family.
I'm always
for
with
real.
them, bro. And those are my elders. They're literally, those are the people who have looked out, were trying to get me saved.
The
right?
day ones.
Yeah, and that's who supports me, bro, financially. Whether it's my cousins, whether it's my brothers, whether it's my aunts, my uncles.
Would you be able to do what you're doing, bro, without that support?
No, you can't. You can't do it. Like it. I mean, you can, but you can either go
You're gonna
broke,
struggle.
Yeah.
or you can take away from your table, and so that's one thing. That's the reason why I've kept going, because of that support system. If I had to take out of my pocket to do this all the time, now I have, but not
But
as
you
much
got
as
a
what people.
family.
Yeah, but not as much as people think that I have.
Yeah.
And just lowballing,
Yeah.
like Space City Chronicles and Southern Gospel, easily over 3,500 to make.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
3,500 to make, right? But thank God, like I said, I've had that support system. They believed in me, and they just want to see me continue to do what I do.
Yeah.
And they support me, man. And it's crazy. Some people is random. Shout out to he knows who I'm talking about. Just recently, he calls me, say, "Hey man, I want to bless you, bro."
Man,
Right?
we
And I
appreciate
was like,
you, man.
hey, for
we
real. Hey.
We as fans appreciate you,
Yeah.
man.
He
Amen.
called, and the reason you have God City, the video, and other things that just production wise, is because he's able. The dude just called me up out of nowhere, and he hits me up and says, "Hey man, I want to bless your ministry, man." Like, I
amen.
bet. So I go and I meet him, and he says, "Look, man, can I be honest with you?" I said, "Yeah, bro, what's up?" He said, "I'm gonna tell you something, but this is what I'm gonna tell you is just being real." I said, "Cool." He goes, "I never liked you, bro."
Oh,
Oh man,
He's a
real,
dude
though.
I knew from high school.
yeah.
He said, "I didn't like you in high school, bro." He goes, "You were too cocky, too arrogant. I just didn't like you, man." He goes, "But I see what God's done in you."
Whoa.
That's dope.
Dude straight up told me just like that. "I see what
Praise
God's
God.
done in you, and I want to bless what he's doing in you. And, I believe what he's doing in you, Boom. Coughed up $500.
Man,
That's
Right
dope.
there. Didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? But to answer your question,
Yeah.
that's how it's moved. At one time I received $800 in the mailbox.
what?
Random person. Didn't
Wow.
say it was from my ministry.
I was wondering where I placed it. No, man.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
man,
So-
praise God, bro.
So, man, God has provided,
Yeah,
to do this
Amen.
music. And that's why I believe that everything I've done has been in God's will, because if it wasn't, then I wouldn't do it.
And Straight Throat, he made a lot of the beats. How essential has Straight Throat been in all of
Man,
this?
Bro, if it wasn't for Straight Throat and just being 100, I wouldn't be rapping. That's another reason. Because another thing is I'm real picky, right? But I fell in love with his music, maybe because he's my day one, and I could be saying it because I'm biased in a lot of ways, but, I think the proof is in the pudding. Everybody loves his music, right? The production
That
he
boy
puts
is a
out.
beast.
Yeah.
But like his support, like the words he's told me, and he told me this recently, that if it wasn't for me, that he wouldn't even be doing this no more. He told my brother the same thing, man. I only do this because of Phyre. Because if Phyre would stop rapping, I don't think I'd be doing this anymore. And so, that's how much that dude loves me, and I got love for him. Now, I feel the same way. I've told him, the day that you hang it up, that's it, man. I'm not gonna do this no more, man. But I'll tell y'all this much: there's still a lot of music, because he got me set up
Yeah.
good, especially for next year.
Yeah.
Like, man, next year's gonna be a busy year, God willing. It's gonna be a busy year. We got the World Reject album, Young Cortez album, the Spanish, my Spanish.
You gonna hurt him, bro.
Yeah, man, the Spanish album.
we're going into music now. At what point did y'all sit down and you be like, "This is World Rejects"?
Man, that's another dope little. Cool's the one that came up with the name, World Reject name. My name was more churchy, real corny.
What was it?
Christ Nation.
Christ Nation.
That's what
Hey,
it was
that's
called,
dope, bro.
It was dope, right?
It
But
sounded like a radio syndicated show or something.
yeah, it was.
Hey, welcome back to Christ Nation.
Yeah, it was dope, right?
were
Christ
citizen.
Nation,
Yeah,
but
you were
it
citizen.
was real churchy, right?
Yeah.
And that was one thing about Cool. Like, man, he was real edgy, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he always like, bro, why can't it be something dope, but yet we still rep Christ?
Yeah.
Why can't it be dope like that, right? And he was like, man, World Rejects, bro. That sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? He was telling Scrade, and we just were like, hey, that is dope.
Yeah.
I had that. I had a Christ Military, Christ Nation, Christ Military, all kind of corny.
Yeah.
Or I don't like saying corny, but churchy names.
Christ Row Records.
It was all like stuff like that, man. But Koo's the one that said, you know what, World Rejects, and then we derived it also from Scripture, John 15:8, I believe. I believe that's the one where Jesus is saying that if the world rejects you, just remember that it rejected him first, right? So that's where we got it. We derived it from there. We got it, and we ran with it, man. World Rejects, and it was me, Sketch. I don't know if you remember Little Praise.
I do remember Little Praise. He was part of the group for a little while. Little Praise and VIC were the original members.
So how many people were there?
It was
4?
Me, Koo, Sketch, VIC, and Little Praise.
Okay.
Were the original members. You know, so
what year was this though?
2011.
2011.
And that's when we did Against the Grain. It was corny. The cover was whack. I'm just being 100. That was the beginning of Scrate though. Yeah. Like that was his start right there. Now that you look at that time, we thought we were the next. We were like, oh, this is dope. Like, look at this, right? But man, real talk, you look at it now. My head was like this big. Koo's was little. It was just all out of place.
You had to give us a copy, bro.
I think I might have one, man, straight up somewhere in the house.
Bring it back out.
So that was the Against the Grain, right? And we were no digital stuff. It was everything was hard copies. Yeah. So the only place that we could put them out was in our events. Mm-hmm. So when we would go do events, we'll pass them out, boom, boom, and that's how we started. People started knowing about us was hard copies at every event that we would go to. And we started getting booked after our first one. We just started getting, getting momentum and started getting booked. And like, okay, well, let's keep rocking, man. This World Reject stuff is dope. Yeah. And after about, I think probably a year, we added on members. Okay. About a year we had Fly. Remember Fly? Fly, yeah. Fly was part of the group. He came in. I remember he just came to one of our events and was like real hyped up. I remember seeing him at the event, like real crunk. And after the show, he came up and he was like, hey, what's up, man? Y'all boys be rocking, man. Y'all from the north side, boom, boom. We started like, just being crunk, right? And I'm like, yeah, bro. He goes, man, I do music too, though, bro, know? And he started showing us his stuff. And, man, after that.
If y'all want to be a reject, be in the crowd, hype, love God, man. Have bars. No,
yeah, man. And that's how we hooked up with Fly. We started going to his church for a little while. Mm-hmm. So Fly was part of the group. And then after Fly, Adrian Angelo, Bless. He became part of the group. And
so, it's like, so there's the original World Rejects, then there's like the World Rejects 2.0.
The add-on.
And then there's like the 3.0. We go get there.
Yeah, man, we've had a lot of phases in this 10 years, but it's been 100. It's been an awesome journey, and the dudes are all solid.
Solo Script, he also came on like around that time as well, right?
Yeah, he came in. Mm-hmm. That's right. Actually, he came in with Little Roddy.
I was about to say, he became
both real solid lyrical dudes.
Right? Both of them. So Little Roddy came on first. Same thing, I was a big fan of Little Roddy. I was like, man, he wants to be down with us. Like, cool, man, let's rock.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. So he came on board, and then Solo Script was his boy. And he goes, hey, my boy's dope too. We heard his music. We're like, come on, man. I was like, at the very beginning, I was real, I'm not saying that I'm not humble now, right? But I would be like, let's just, I think everybody should unite. It should be this big unity thing, right?
Because World Rejects, like you guys came out with a whole like big unity banner.
Yeah, bro.
In the city around.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
so I put it together, right? I put a bunch of different ministries on one flyer, and I just put it out.
I remember that. I
think I put you guys on there, right? I had put on there, and I'm like, hey, man, this is dope, because from the world that I came from, right, from the hood, like, bro, we don't get down like that. It's about your clique, and that's it, right? Like, you don't care about nobody else. Mm-hmm. So the work that Christ had done in me, I was like, there's no way that we could live the same way we did in the world and bring it to the church.
Come on.
Right? So that's the way I always like, nah, you can't.
Yeah.
So I had said, I'm gonna put my pride aside and we're gonna hook up.
Yeah.
Right? But you real quick find out that it doesn't work that way.
Man,
And it's sad.
unfortunately,
it is sad. And I went through a lot of straight up, man, heartache,
Yeah.
a lot of disappointment at the beginning of the ministry.
Yeah.
Because I would see that man, not everybody wanted to rock that way.
Yeah.
Everybody, and sometimes I don't want to say that people have bad intentions or bad hearts or don't want to unite. Sometimes it is just you just have different visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't want to
And that's
blame
okay,
it.
and that's
yeah,
okay.
and that's okay. So I don't want to blame it all on that. But you could still show love,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Right? You can still show love, and you can see the support without it all being under one banner
Yeah.
of ministry. Right? We
Yeah.
can have our own visions, but still support.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't see.
Quick question, right? For the World Rejects, did y'all have some form of discipleship amongst yourselves? Like, was there somebody helping lead and disciple the ones that were coming in?
Well, that was us. Yeah, we did. We had our own Bible studies, our own groups. Right? We would do. We were all plugged in at our churches.
Yeah.
Y'all go
we
to
were
different churches.
Yes, so
That's
that was a big thing about us. Like you had to be plugged in. So obviously we couldn't be like every week with each other, right? So
Yeah.
a big thing about us was like, bro, you have to be plugged in at your church.
Yeah.
You have to. If you want to be a part of the Rejects, you have to be plugged in church. You have
Amen.
to be solid. You know, your walk. My thing was always, I know who you are when you're in front of me, right? But I
Yeah.
want to know that you're really solid. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I got to
keep
know
it real
all
with the
those
Lord.
brothers really, really good. And, I trusted them. You know what I'm saying? And of course we would check in with each other and do all that. But another thing was because we lived far apart, right? They lived in Mo City. I'm in
Yeah.
the north side.
This
So
before Zoom calls and stuff,
before
right?
all that, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we would have a lot of events. So that's where we would break bread,
Yeah.
like all the time. You know, we'll pray with each other, talk about whatever's going on, and then we were all in doctrine wise, we were all in the same place.
Yeah.
Like we kind of believed the same thing,
which
and
is
we were
good,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
which was okay, like you said.
And we have to
And
learn
you know-
how to function like
Yeah,
that as a
yeah,
body, because we probably we start talking about things.
Correct. We're
we
not
go
always
off.
gonna
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
on everything, right?
You know what? And I think that it's special when you're able to connect with somebody and rock with somebody and work with somebody, even though there's those minor issues in theology or in
Correct.
belief. You know what I'm saying?
You throwing shots at me? No, I'm playing.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm playing. I'm
You know,
playing.
but I think that's dope. I think that it gets, because there's people who just like, they just want to rock with people with the same theology.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's like I think it's something special when you're able to do that. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
yeah. You have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like if we can agree that Jesus is Lord and Savior,
yeah.
right? That's the number one, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if we don't believe that, then we're gonna have
Yeah.
discussions,
Right,
right? But I
right.
can't really be doing music with you if you don't believe that core principle
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah.
Jesus is Lord and Savior. He's
Amen.
King, and there is no other way of salvation but through Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Right? If we can't agree on that, then we won't.
Yeah.
But if that is our core belief, then every other thing we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And then we can agree to disagree. The other guys,
Mm-hmm.
they all just stop rapping. Like, cool. Like, he's rocks with
The
me.
things,
Hung
the
up the
things
mic.
just change in their lives, or
Yeah,
or they just
they were getting older,
Yeah.
girlfriends,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
and they just weren't. And it's just being 100, they weren't as passionate to do music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not their walk,
Yeah.
the music part of
Yeah.
it, like
Yeah.
doing events all the time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, that was my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So there was the difference there. Like I wanted to keep on rocking. And they were like, nah, not today, not this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes they'll go, sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that was that, man. And eventually they were like, man, you know what? We just not gonna rock like that no more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it's
know
a
what
big
I'm saying?
commitment. It takes a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
and
there-
especially because you guys were deep, and if you know anything about World Rejects always deep.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
saw y'all at that Discovery
Yeah.
Green, y'all were filling up. I was like, man, there's more people on stage than there's a crowd. And the crowd was like 4,000 people. I was like, bro.
I mean, so that's one thing is that when you guys came in,
We
you
were
guys
deep.
came in deep.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
They
So
called
it's
us
like,
the Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
I was about to say
Wu-Tang of
So,
the, you know what I'm saying?
There's no
Christian
way
hip
that
hop.
you didn't see them coming in.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's what created a lot of the buzz.
Yeah.
A lot of people, we would hear this a lot. Like when we would go, like, man, we love y'all unity.
Yeah.
We love how you can tell that it's real, and it was.
Yeah.
Just being what it was, and it still is. That's the crazy part. Like I love those brothers, and they just at that moment in their life, that season.
The Lord was taking them down another direction.
Man, they got busy with other things, and they just weren't as passionate about it. So that was it, man. You know, everybody else, there was some turmoil because we broke up twice. Well, the first time there was a lot of turmoil. There was a lot of people. It was more from outside sources.
Okay.
Right? People were trying to pull me away from the rejects. There were certain people who wanted to sign me.
Yeah.
But they would tell me, just you.
Yeah.
Not your guys, just you. And the loyalty part of me that always from the streets, that I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I could not leave. I was like, nah, but these my boys.
Yeah.
Like if I'm coming, they coming. And if not, then we not going to do it.
Real one.
Right? And then they started getting on their ears. Other people, especially Scrape. Because Scrape is talented, right?
Yeah.
Multifaceted.
So
talented.
that's what it was. Like people start trying to put things in his ear to come join this ministry, to come do this.
How many names has he had? Because I've heard like
the evolution.
The evolution
of
let's go
first,
through it.
The first one, Jay Bennix. When I first met him, don't laugh at him, man.
No.
Shout out my boy Scrape. He knows I love him.
Shout out Jake Bennix.
Jay Bennix, man.
I love Scrape, man.
So first it was Jay Bennix, and then I think it was just Jay.
R&B from New York.
Jay.
And then it was Sketch.
Uh-huh.
He said Sketch, he was going to keep Sketch because he was the art of God, right?
That's deep.
And then he was so dope on the beats.
Call me masterpiece.
Yeah. So he was so dope on the beats that I'm the one that gave him Picasso.
Oh,
So it was Sketch Picasso or just Picasso?
Sketch Picasso.
Yeah.
But, we didn't always want to say Sketch Picasso. So then the sketch start going out there. It was just Picasso.
Yeah.
And it's still Picasso. Really, his name's not Scrape though.
I call him Scrape though now.
Well, the same thing. I started calling him, but that's his brand.
Yeah.
He's still Picasso. But his brand just was so dope that Scrape though was like, man, that's live.
Yeah.
So I just started calling him that. And when I would tell people about him, I would say my partner Scrape Throwed, because I knew when he would send you something, it would say Scrape Throwed all over it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason and now I still call him Scrape.
So for a couple of years, it was basically just you and Adrian who were really holding it down for the World Rejects. You know what I'm saying? So
and Picasso. He's
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Part of it.
He may have been behind the scenes, but he was making it happen.
Yeah. But from almost like one day to the next, like that all stopped though with, because it's like you couldn't separate Phyre and Adrian Angelo from the World Rejects. You guys were kind of almost one in a sense.
Especially on Space City Chronicles.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, I mean, I don't like really touching a lot about stuff that has happened, but I know a lot of people want to know, right? Yeah. I don't like telling the whole story from the beginning, so I'll say it one time, and that's why I'm
exclusive. Chopped it up.
So it was an abrupt ending.
Yeah,
it was all over social media. I was mentioned in the comments. People were saying things about our group, about the World Rejects, negative things.
Yeah, people that looked up to y'all, fans. And
I'm not gonna say what it was. If you've seen it, then you've seen it, right? But it wasn't in a good light.
It wasn't good for the ministry.
It wasn't good for the ministry, right?
Yeah. I saw y'all were working like on the part 2 of the Space City Chronicles.
Oh
right?
yeah, that is.
Yeah,
true.
we were already starting to work on it, and that crimped everything up.
Yeah, we
agreed to disagree. As for me, that season was over. Love him from a distance. If I ever see him, I'll be okay to tell him what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, boom, boom, and just keep it moving.
No hate.
No hate, nothing.
So at this point, it boils down to 2 of y'all.
So me and Scrape, right? And
summer 2019. No.
and man, Scrape was behind me. Like he's always been.
Shout out to a real one.
Man, that dude just like, hey, bro, I got you.
Yeah.
I hate that it's turned out this way. And once again, he did not talk bad about Adrian. I didn't talk bad about Adrian. So I was like, hey, it is what it is, right? So he never did, and he continued to work. He still does. Like I said, so there was no disrespect from Scrape, but like I know that's my dog, right? He's gonna ride with me all the way 1,000. He's like, bro, whatever you need, whatever, I got you. I have the beats from Straight. I have a dope team over there at Fresh Ink. Shout out to Rudy. Right? Shout out to Puttin.
Yeah,
Like,
much love, man. Y'all.
hey, man, those guys are amazing.
And then Luciano came in. Lucky Lucci. And that's a game changer in itself.
Yeah, and then me and Lucci, you know, he's just been an awesome brother in Christ and just been a good motivation. You know, he's also older in age, right? So him still wanting to do it, but like I see his drive and his passion for the Lord, and that refreshes me because I've been in it, right? Like, and I've seen he's been in it too, but from the other side, right? So that inspires me, and then like I said, a big support is my brother Cool, man.
Shout
that
out
dude
Cool.
believes in me.
Hey, that boy hilarious, man.
I'm telling you,
shout out Cool.
Hey, that dude,
I love that dude.
Really believes in me, man. Him and my other brother, Sos. Yes, another that probably y'all don't see him as much, but he also believes in me. And obviously my wife and my kids, and then the support that I got. Like, family, I literally see the support, like, even just from people. Like, I see, like, there's no way we could have won 17 weeks if we didn't have support. Man. There's no way we could have won all those awards all these years. All the things that we've won and the accolades you can't do it without support. Yeah. Right? Like, if people ain't feeling you, you know, you're not going to get that. And we've seen that over the years. And, like, lately it's been like, man, even more. Like, every time I, like, should I retire?
So you feel
I mean,
the Lord got something
else.
else.
And then Cortez comes along. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We started like inboxing back and forth for a while now. And it was just cool. We were just being cool. And then eventually he sent me the What You Think.
Yeah. Bang.
He said, hey, man, what's up? I can hear you on this track. This is for you. Boom. I was like, man, bet. You know? And that's how our relationship started, right? And we did that song. And then he just started like, hey, man, let's do another track. Yeah. Right? And, man, you think I'm going to say no to Cortez? Like, that dude is super talented. That's another thing. Like, you know, I feel like God put that together. You know, obviously, like, every time I think that I'm going to call it quits, something good happens. And that was the Cortez, the What You Think. And if y'all, you know, that was on the radio. Yeah. What You Think was on the radio.
Was that the first song y'all got on the radio?
First one we had was the one with Austin Lanier.
Austin Lanier.
The single, Keep On Going. That was the first one. And then What You Think got on. And then What It Do got on. Yeah. And then God City. And God City is the one that did the 17 weeks.
He did numbers.
Yeah. And so anyway, but Cortez was just like another fire in the ministry, right? Like, he just came in and he just, man, he's just a talented brother. Yeah. I'm like, man, we can do music, bro. Let's get it. And that's what I needed. Like, I came to a point where I don't want to do music by myself. I don't. It's too much work.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And I was like, man, and that was, but once Great was, I was willing to do it, but I told him just one more. Yeah. Let's do the After the Block 2. I even have the artwork for it and everything, and I never did it. And I thank God I didn't, because that was going to be my last album. I was going to do After the Block 2 and be done with it. Yeah. I was like, let's go full force and knock out After the Block 2. But then that's when Cortez came in the picture. And I knew that he wasn't looking for nothing else but a family, like friendship here in Houston. That's how he came. That's where he's like, man, I need this, bro.
Hey, Cortez, we love you, bro.
Yeah, he's like straight up, because like he came from Dallas. You got to think about that. And he came over here.
Man, he a Cowboys fan, bro?
Oh, man, that's the only thing right there, man. Sometimes I think about it, man. I might have to kick you out, bro.
And fear and trembling, you know.
So, but anyway, so that was the thing. Like, he said, man, I need this, bro. Yeah. I need fellowship. I need brothers. And that's how that became. So he didn't say like, hey, let me be a world reject.
That's real, though.
So that wasn't the case.
So don't come at you like that.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, like, Cortez's, it wasn't because he's like, oh, let me be a reject. No, he just said, hey, man, I need brothers, bro. Yeah. Like,
more than an application. It's a relationship.
Here in Houston, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got a few people, but, and then, man, we talk all the time. Me and Cortez talk through all kind of stuff. You know, we really do, man. That's what I've been. I've been his brother, and he's been my brother. You know what I'm saying? And the rest was history, man. He became a reject, and we've been doing music, man.
So 2020, who's on the roster?
Man, we got some OGs that coming back, man.
I've seen stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like I've told them, it's like I listen to the music, but am I in depth and tune to who's who? Yeah. Nah, so I apologize if y'all think that I just disrespect them. That's not what I'm trying to do. But who's on the roster?
So now we got the Twins. You remember SOM?
I know SOM.
The twins are on the roster. Cortez, VIC's coming back to do Spanish.
Hold up.
So, and VIC's my dog. He's always, once again,
He's an original.
Original.
He's an OG, yeah.
So he's on the squad. And, Cool makes some guest appearances here and there. We just did a track.
Come on.
And he's on the new track.
Hey, you know what? What's
Cool
that
dog.
song called that you shot in your hood? There was the dual track. What is it called?
It was what you think?
Chop chop. Da.
Yeah, it
On
was the
that-
Space City Chronicle one.
On that verse, bro, I was like, and nobody else thought this, but I thought this, and I was like, did Cool write that? Because
Nah.
that sounded like Cool.
Really?
So did
Nah.
Ghost Riders.
Did
no.
Cool Ghost write that, bro?
Nah,
I was
man.
like,
Cool always.
I was like, this sounds so much like Cool.
Hey, just to take it back for the inside, I be writing all the Cortez's hooks. No, I'm the Ghost Rider. No,
Nah, man. But I write everything, man. Straight up. I've always been. That's just one thing that.
Yeah.
Quick.
At one of the last concerts, bro, I could have swore I got you and your brother mistaken, man. Because on the Cool's like, bro, you lost a lot of weight
From the back of
yeah.
the head. You talking about from the back though?
from the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but in all seriousness, like, bro, like you've changed physically. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Definitely. I lost
Big
60
shout out
pounds.
for that, man. 60.
Yeah.
60 pounds.
I guessed
60
100, but hey, that was close.
Yeah, man, 60 pounds, bro.
That's a lot.
I was a big dude, and I had to do it for health.
I heard you were doing the keto diet.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am still am.
Still keto?
Oh, I
okay.
thought it
No
was
French
the,
fries?
I thought it was
No
the
French
Zion
fries.
energy drinks.
That's part of my keto. That's part of my keto diet, man.
Yeah.
Sugar-
One a day, keep the doctor away and
You know
lose
what I'm
5
saying?
pounds while you at it.
I've known you for 10 plus years, right? About 10 years. I've seen you show love. I've seen you help people out. Do you feel like that same love and that same support has been shown to you?
Nah, man. I'm just being 100. That's one of the things that a lot of times I get turned off in CHH because I don't see a lot of support. And then, I've heard the excuses people say, well, you don't do it for rappers.
Yeah.
But yet I still show you love.
Yeah.
Right? I still show them love. I've shared videos. I don't do it as much no more. And I'm just being 100. I don't because I've been hurt. Right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of gave up on that. But I'll still show you love.
Yeah.
I just can't be like, okay, you don't want to show me love? Then fine. I'm not going to be sharing your stuff and you don't want to show it to me.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of kind of like a selfish reason. Right?
At the
Kind of
same-
weird.
at the same time, it's guarding your heart a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro.
Because you can only be
because
hurt
now
so
I'm
much. You know what I'm saying?
And then you shouldn't do things to expect it back
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
right? But at the same time, that kind of gets to you because you're
Yeah.
like, man, why do I keep on showing these people love and these people don't want to show it back?
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, that's the proof is in the pudding, bro. Like I've been literally doing it for 10 years
Yeah.
consistently. And you can see a lot of these rappers. I'm not on their records.
You could see it on the features. Huh?
Yeah,
you know
there
what I'm saying?
are a lot of them are on my records.
Yeah.
I show love and I put people on and I help people. I give people advice. In music to help them out and be so they can become better artists. And for the OGs, I've been there with them, serving with them, serving under them, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
And
But
man,
it's not always vice versa,
And
man.
like if you stop, that's where it stops. You know, and that's the messed up part. But
Yeah.
guess what? I'm gonna keep it going because that's I'm gonna do what God's called me to do. I can't stop because the lack of support from artists. Because at the end of the day, I don't do it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just be cool to be appreciated by your peers.
Yeah.
And some people might be like, man, that's not why you do it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Because if I did do it for them, I would have quit.
Yeah.
I don't quit because I don't do it for them.
God City, who you got on it?
Man, Guy City got Cortez, right? Obviously. Well, it's 3. It's a collab album.
Yeah.
Luck, Puttin, and Phyre, us 3. And then as features, we got Young Cortez, we have Crazy Chris,
Okay.
and we have a girl named Lexi, which is one of Puttin's friends.
Okay,
And she
okay.
jumped on one of the hooks, and I think that's it.
So it's you, Lucky, punning on every track, or it's kind of a mix?
Every track.
Okay.
Okay.
Every track. You get a verse from me, Luck, and Puttin on every track. And I thought
12
that
or
was dope.
16s?
12, bro. We stopped doing the
Yeah.
16s, man. So
that's
God
what's up,
City, it's a dope album. It's live. It's obviously H-Town, right? But it's super dope.
Well, let me ask you a question. Go ahead, Mo.
What do you think? Has anybody approached you and been like, "Oh man, y'all doing too much Houston stuff"? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
That has been told to me by another artist. He said, "Don't get stuck in that."
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, I've always had that in me. That's always gonna be a part of me. As far as style, like my catalog is not all H-Town sounding stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, but not everything. So I have my versatility as far as that. It's never gonna be just like, oh, I know what he's gonna rap about.
I love the culture, man. I love what you guys are doing right now.
And that was a big thing always. Engage the culture without compromising, right? I say that all the time. That's one of my things that I love to say, is because that is the truth. Like, bro, we have to engage people where they're at, what they're doing, but let them know, hey, I'm gonna bring this light to you. Through this, I'm gonna show you who Jesus is.
Amen.
And that's what we're doing with God City, man.
So God City, there's no excuse for you not to go get it right after watching this, in the middle of watching this. Whatever you're doing, go get that.
Cop it.
Man,
Cop
you know
it,
it's
man.
gonna be
Stream
fire,
it.
bro.
Get it
Share
however
it.
you want it, man. Share it, show love, man, and show that, hey, the underdogs can do something good, man. And I always consider myself an underdog, but I don't care, man. God has shown his love and his mercy and his light and his favor through that. So I'm cool with it.
We got a little segment that we like to do, and it's called Rapid Fire. Can you hit that for us real quick?
Let's chop it up. Rapid fire.
The reason I say this, right? Because I got a question for you. It's going to be simple. Give me your top 5 catchphrases.
Cash phrases?
Yeah. Point them to the king.
Oh, point them to the king. Engage the culture. No compromise. God leads, we follow.
Okay.
What else?
Come on. Something for the energy.
Don't fellas down.
Okay. Which one?
Science for the
Oh,
energy.
Zions for the energy.
Here we go.
Right? And then
One more,
Exit
one.
Tidwell, man. Clark Park. Shout out to
Reject
the
till I
hood.
eject.
The one-
Reject till I
I was
eject.
gonna say, that's the one I want to hear.
Hey man, but
Reject
I
till we
always
eject.
show love to. That's another thing, man. I show love to my hood, man. Clark
Yeah.
Park, I love it. You know,
Hey.
that's why I still stay, and I'm always gonna be repping, but for the right reasons, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Amen,
saying?
amen.
Bring light to the darkness, man. So yeah.
Hey,
That's
we
what it
appreciate y'all for joining us, man. This has been the Let's Chop It Up podcast. Bruh, man, we had fun. This was a good one. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you for being with
Hey,
us, bro.
appreciate you guys.
God
Thank
City,
you.
go get it now.
Go get it.
You know what I'm saying? You know it's going to be fire. It got my boy Fire. Of course it's going to be. You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
And we pointing them to the king at all times, right?
All the time,
So once
baby.
again, you're a real one for tuning in with us all the way to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do everything. You know what I'm saying? And go follow my boy.
On every social media, World Rejects, on IG, Facebook, on everything. Just World Rejects. You'll
That's what I'm
find it
talking about. Rejects to we eject.
already.
Amen.
Man, hold up, this right here is straight though.